Now that I've just about finished, I can set up for printing. Right now we're in model space, that's where we'll do all our drafting, but to print we want to be in paper space. So I'm down here at the bottom next to model, I'm going to choose layout 1. And you'll notice if you hover your mouse over a tab, you can see what the layout looks like. So I'm in layout 1, and you can right click on the tab and rename it to be whatever you want. I'll say letter, since it's going to be a letter size page. What you're looking at here is a representation of the printed page. This dashed line is the printable area of your page, and that's determined by the plotter or the printer, those can be used interchangeably, and the page size that you have set up. And then the box inside of it is your viewport. This is a viewport, and it shows the model space inside. So you can double click on your viewport This here is your model space. This is your viewport. If you click on it, it shows the model space. You can go inside of it, the model space, by clicking, and you'll see how the viewport has now a thicker black border. And down here, this says model instead of paper space. So you can click it and you're back in paper space, and you can click it again and you're back in model space. And when you're in model space in the layout, you can pan around, you can zoom in and out, whatever you want. And any changes you make here happen to your true drawing. So don't go crazy in here. And then to get back out, you can click outside of it or hit paper and model down here. You can also type MS for model space and PS for paper space to get back out. You can resize your viewport. You can also make it tiny. It's whatever you need. So I'm going to set up the page setup now. So I can right click on the tab and go to Page Setup Manager. And I'm going to choose Letter. That's the tab I'm in, and I'm going to do Modify. And we're going to select a printer/plotter. We're going to export to PDF, so I'm going to do AutoCAD PDF, high quality. And then I'm going to select my paper size as, I'm just going to leave it as the letter. ANSI full bleed. Full bleed just means it prints the whole page. And then what to plot. Layout is your viewports and only your viewports. And extents does the entirety of your drawing that fits in your viewport. I'm going to do extents, and I'm going to choose center the plot. I know that's not best practice, but it's the easiest right now. We're going to keep our scale at 1:1 because we drafted it that way. And I'm going to keep the drawing orientation as landscape. And then I can preview to see what that would look like. And this is a student version, so you'll see produced by an Autodesk student version around the margins. That's okay. And you'll notice here that this isn't at the scale we would like, and we've got some extra stuff in there, so we're going to go out and fix that. So I can hit Escape to get out of the preview and back to the setup, and then I'll click OK and then close. So this is too small. So I will click on my viewport and see down here, So I will click on my viewport, and then come down to the status bar and change the scale, and we want 1 to 1. So remember that anytime you go into model space from this viewport, you have the potential of changing the scale. So now our drawing is off center, so I want to go into model space, MS, enter, and then I'm going to pan it so that it seems centered. That looks good to me. And paper space to get back out of it. Now let's look at a preview again. So I can right click, and this time I'm going to do plot. And because we have multiple layouts, it's going to ask if we want to do a batch plot, which would print multiple layouts, but I'm just going to do continue to a single plot and then hit preview. And that looks pretty good. So I can hit escape out. Although one thing you'll notice is that we are seeing line weights here. So our plate border is a thicker line weight, and our title block down here is a thicker line weight. That's great. But when we escape out, we don't see line weights. And showing line weights can slow down your computer, but you do want it when you print. But if you need to double check what your line weights are, you can click the show hide line weights down here. Now they come on. And if you don't have that option on your status bar, pick the 3 lines to the very right for customization, and you can turn things on and off. And line weights is kind of at the middle of that menu. And now we could just plot. So I can go back, plot, continue. I was happy with the preview. I'll click OK. And it will come up, and you can save it wherever you want. And that is how you plot quickly.